Bard is one of the most unique and complex champions in League of Legends. As such, it's understandable that many Bard players are going to be making mistakes. In this video, I'm going to outline a couple of common mistakes I see Bard players make so that you won't do the same. I'm going to structure these mistakes in chronology based on a real game of League of Legends. Immediately after the game starts, it's a good idea as Bard to run directly to your bottom lane so that you have a better chance of spawning your chimes in or near that lane. Some Bard players will always collect all 3 of their chimes before the lane starts. In my opinion, it's better to leave any chimes that are close to your lane and wait to pick them up to restore lost mana. Once you reach level 2, you're going to skill your W ability. Now, the most common mistake that I see Bard players make when using their W is that they'll place them far behind themselves in the lane, regardless of whether or not your lane is in the process of pushing. W has an insanely high mana cost, and you cannot afford to use them wastefully. The further away you place your shrines, the more inconvenient it is for you or your AD carry to go collect them in the future. Ideally, you want to assess the movement of your creeps in the lane, in which direction it's pushing, and place your shrines more towards that side of the lane. After a couple minutes, you'll be around level 4 or 5, and there will be a few chimes scattered around the bottom lane. The biggest mistake that I see Bard players make here is that they completely abandon the lane, regardless of what state it's in, and they go off to collect these chimes. When you do this, you make it very likely that your AD carry is going to be denied experience and gold, which makes it very detrimental to your bottom lane. Now, somewhere along the way to level 6, before you get your ult, you're going to have skilled your E, Magical Journey. Now, this is more of a personal opinion type of concept, but I highly recommend that you normal cast your E. Bard's Magical Journey is a very precise spell and may have drastically different results due to very small mouse movements. It's much more reliable to normal cast your E, so you have the perfect idea of what the outcome will be. Okay, so now you're level 6 and you have access to one of the most impactful skills in the game. Now, I'm not going to tell you how best to use it. That would take an entire video in itself. Instead, I'll be explaining some ways you don't want to be using it. Now, Bard's ult has a very long range, but do not be deceived by it. You almost never want to be casting this ult at max range due to its long travel time. You'll likely have a 0% hit chance doing this. Similarly, try to avoid ulting champions that you know still have access to one of their mobility spells. Bard's ult is fairly easy to react to, even at low ranges, until you have a hard time hitting champions that still have their dashes off of cooldown. If possible, wait until after they use their escapes, or wait until you have a guaranteed follow-up on an allied CC. Lastly, I want to talk about Bard's bread and butter combo, his ult into Q immediately after the stasis. Now this one is simply a matter of practice. Try to use the animation of the stasis to your advantage. If you don't feel comfortable, try to lean on the side of queuing later rather than earlier. You still have a chance to land the Q if you use it too late, but using it too early will lead to utter shame. This has been AutomobileV. I have my own YouTube channel that I upload League-related content to. I'm currently working on a Bard Spotlight at the moment that details all of his abilities individually. And I also stream regularly on Twitch TV/AutomobileV. So if you enjoyed this kind of content, feel free to come watch.